do what I got to do. Right? We've all been there. If we were
Can't
stuck on
say
a
I
deserted
haven't.
island, you do what you got to do. Right?
Kill sea turtles?
It, if it was my only way to get home off the deserted island, yes, I would kill
Uh,
sea turtles. Hello, everybody. My name is Christian.
And I'm Ozzy.
And welcome back to That's the Flavor, episode number 32, your weekly podcast where we sit down with each other and talk about our lives. Sometimes we have an occasional guest, and honestly, we just hang out and have a good time. Thank you guys for the support on episode 31, last week's episode, Humoring Conversations with Hugh Moran. Super, just amazing, crazy support on that episode, and thank you for that. Honestly, it's kind of mind-blowing a little bit. And yeah.
Thanks for Hugh for coming on too.
Oh yeah, of course. If you guys haven't, again, go check out Hugh Moran stuff. All of his links are in the other episode, or just search Hugh Moran on YouTube. But yeah, thanks to him for coming on. It was great. Yeah. Ozzy, how you doing this week? How are you?
How am I doing?
How are you doing? Give me the deep philosophical answer. Lay it on me,
To put it lightly, I am doing in the very definition of doing. But in some definitions, I am not actively doing it, as some would say. I have, in fact, not done it in quite some time now. But
Oh, okay.
But I am living. So
Okay,
I guess
good,
I am
good.
doing, but I'm not doing it. If you know what I mean.
Right. Of course.
Yes. So in
Yes,
other
yes.
terms, I'm surviving.
Okay.
Some might say thriving. I would beg to differ.
Yes.
I'm definitely not thriving. I'm tired,
Oh.
but I'm surviving.
Okay. Good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad.
And ditto. Question to you.
Oh, dittoing the question back. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. I feel sort of like a dandelion feels on the crest of a summer mountain
Interesting.
when the wind coasts by and when the wind coasts by in a nice wave of summer satin water coasts across the skyline.
Summer satin water.
Summer
Never-
satin water, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Where does one find this?
In the mines of the Sahara Desert.
Interesting.
How did it get to the mountains? I don't know, but it did. It did, in fact. But also, I'm doing pretty good. I don't know. Had a good week. Honestly, like I said, that's the flavor stuff has been popping off this week, so it's been really heads down with that, as it typically is, honestly. But then just work, hanging out with family, friends, girlfriend, having a good time. Yeah, I don't know. I'm. It's really hard on the week to week to be like, oh, how am I doing? Like if we almost did like the podcast every month, I feel like it'd be like, oh, hey, here's like a big sprawling check in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But on the week to week, it's like it's more of the same, especially when it comes down to like we're two dudes working jobs. You know what I mean? Like it's not like there's crazy.
Yeah.
We went to a movie premiere like last week. You know what I mean? Like that stuff just isn't. I don't know.
Not our lives yet.
Yeah, maybe one day. Maybe one day.
The sheer optimism I'm trying,
Look, we gotta believe. McDonald's, honestly, banking on them,
Yeah. Back on the revive.
Yeah. You gotta hope for it.
Crazy.
Right.
Crazy.
Right. Ozzy, I got a question for you.
You know I love questions.
And that question is a classic. Honestly, a classic, like, what would you bring kind of question. So you'll see. If you were stuck on a desert island and you could only bring one item, what would it be?
Item. So, alright, in true, that's the flavor fashion. What are the
Set the
parameters?
parameters.
Like, I need to know. Like, so, what's the food? What's the water sitch? Does this item need to be practical?
No. It can be.
Or is it more like
It's
posterity?
more like a fixed
posterity?
boredom kind of scenario. Like
Okay.
less survival. More. I mean, you could go the survival route if you wanted to, but like I think more of like a all right, let's say like, because there's pictures out there like, okay, here's an island, all your food's provided, all your water's provided, but you could only have like one item to like cure your boredom. Like, what would you bring? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And some people are like, oh, bring a book. It's like, okay, but you can only
You
read that
have
book
the
so many
one
times
book,
before it's boring.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. See, yeah, because that's hard. Because I feel like it's a trick question almost in a lot of different
right,
ways that you go into it. Because like, I mean, being me and you both are gamers. We play
yes,
video
yes,
games. Like not even instinctively. I mean, the thought comes up of like, oh yeah, like I'd like to bring my Xbox, but if I
right,
bring my Xbox, I don't have a screen. I also don't have
right,
electricity, and I also won't have a controller because if I'm bringing one item. And I mean, then you could bring the DS, but then you're still stuck to that. You only have one game, and you only have so much battery life.
right. And then like I think about like I don't think there's a question of like, yes, your food and water's provided, but I don't think like Wi-Fi exists. So like, what's the point in like bringing an Xbox? Like,
Hmm.
so I've
Honestly,
come, yeah, yes,
I was gonna say I think I've determined what I would bring:
okay, hit me.
a sand bucket.
A sand bucket.
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
okay.
you could just make a fort out of like sand. So like like we're on like a deserted island, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And like we're going like traditional route of like it's like in the ocean or
Oh yeah,
surrounded by
I think
water.
very much the stereotypical like mound of sand and one palm tree. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, I think yeah, I'd for sure go like a sandcastle bucket
Okay.
because I
Okay.
mean, you can do a couple things with it. But I mean, you're surrounded by sand. I feel like that's like the one thing that you could do.
Right.
Also, if you're feeling saucy, you can flip it upside down and then you have a drum.
Hmm.
So rhythm is the start of all kinds of music. So there's that. I could also get a bucket of water.
Right.
Just because why not? Maybe I want to make it feel like it's raining when it's not raining.
Hmm. Hmm.
I can wear it as a hat, so whenever
Right.
it is raining and I don't want to get as wet, I
Right.
can do
Right.
that. Um, what else? I could
I
have a
like it.
pet
I like it.
goldfish, because I could put water in it, and then I could have a fish.
I have a question.
Yeah, yeah, hit me with
Are there saltwater goldfish?
it. Yes. Next question.
Um. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm curious now because I couldn't.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't
Uh.
necessarily say goldfish, but I would say fish.
Well, no, but I am now more just like genuinely curious. Oh yeah, there are. It's called the marine goldfish.
Yeah, see.
Huh? Yeah. Okay. I was genuinely curious.
Well, I think I would go back to also like to a throwback to anybody who's ever watched New Girl. I think I'd be like
Mm.
Schmidt in this and be like, I don't want no like Winston. I don't want no bitch fish. I want that. So like I'd find a specific fish.
What, what's
Have my
funny is I
own.
just watched that episode a
Yep.
few days ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't want some basic bitch fish.
Winston, I
Oh
want
my
it,
god. Give it to
sir.
me.
How much?
That show is a treasure. I
Truly,
my
truly.
my girlfriend came to the conclusion that I am just Nick Miller, but like a smidge more put together. And I
That's.
honestly I took that as a large compliment, you know.
I mean, yeah, that is pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
So I can live out my Nick Miller dreams.
Are you convinced that you never learned how to read? You just memorized a lot of words?
Yes. Honestly, yes.
I am genuinely, yeah, yeah. I am right there on that one. Yeah. So what is your answer, good sir, to this?
I'd bring a tub of Lego.
Tubs of Legos. Like how many?
So yeah, that's just it. Because here's the thing, like no tub, like a tub. So
Yeah,
like,
what size
I
is the tub?
right. I think those big classic like Rubbermaid like toy chest, like you know what I mean, like the really long ones, big ones,
Okay.
like the ones you see on sale on Facebook Marketplace, like because in my mind, it's not going to be like a tub that I hand pick. It's more like someone from Facebook Marketplace donates their tub of Lego. So I don't know what I'm getting. I just know that I'm getting
Mm-hmm.
a tub of Lego.
Yeah.
And because, my imagination, like, that is limitless entertainment right there.
That's true.
Like, and plus the tub, I could dump all the Lego out onto the sand and then use the tub as, like, shelter.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
I could make an aquarium with how big the tub is, honestly.
Yeah, you could. But then in return, if you don't have your Legos in the tub, or at least just in the stand, and we're going like the stereotypical, wouldn't you lose a decent amount of your
There's a
Legos
high
to
chance
the
they get
waves?
washed away. Yes. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But it's a risk I'm willing to take,
Mm.
Because, like, also, you gotta imagine there's stuff that's washing up on the shore constantly, whether it's just, like, garbage or so forth. So maybe it's, like, an equal exchange. The ocean takes some of my Legos, it brings me trash. Like, I create that kind of dynamic with the ocean.
So you'll create a trash island.
Yes. And then that trash island will become big enough that I will float myself back to land. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that could happen without Legos.
Well, yes, but I feel like you need some kind of bartering item. And so I figure the dogs, how dare they? I figure why not barter something, aka more plastic. So I'm exchanging plastic for plastic. But Lego plastic is of higher quality. So
you're still killing the sea turtles no matter
100%. 100%. But
a shame.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe I shouldn't admit that, but it's okay. Do what I gotta do, right? We've all been there. Again, if we were stuck on a deserted island, you do what you gotta do, right?
Kill sea turtles?
If it was my only way to get home off the deserted island, yes, I would kill sea turtles.
I don't think this is gonna be your only way to get off this deserted island. I think you can still have your Legos.
No, I don't have flares, right? I don't have all I have is guaranteed food and water.
But I mean, couldn't you also just make a float/boat out of your Legos?
Sure, but I mean, I would then. You could, but I don't know if you'd have enough materials. Like, yes, I have the boat with the tub, right? Mm-hmm. Then you chop down your singular palm tree. Is that enough wood to make a mast? And then what am I going to use as a sail? The logistical issues
directions
come
of
into
the
play.
Legos that are thrown in the tubs.
Fair. Honestly, it would just come down to the amount of material, right? Because I don't know, depending on how many directions are in that tub, I may or may not be able to make a sail. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, if it's a random airdropped Facebook Marketplace tub of Lego, there might be one instruction manual in there, maybe a half of one.
Well, I mean, then you get the shipping confirmation.
There's a lot of variables.
You get the shipping confirmation if you're going to get dropped.
I would then have the box that it probably came in.
You also have your shirt and pants.
Yeah, but then sun exposure. And, I'm very pale, so
you only travel at night.
But if I'm on the ocean, I don't have a choice.
Well, yeah, you do. You just take off the mask during the sun.
Yeah, but then I'm stuck in the... Yeah, I'm still
So do you want skin cancer, or do you want to go home?
Jeez. Is that...
I mean...
That is... by the way, just going to point out, that is worse. That is worse than sea turtle.
Yeah, but at least you're not taking somebody else's life or another creature's life.
Yeah, but I can eat the sea turtles, so it's a circle of life scenario there.
That's fucked up.
But it's a circle of life.
I want you to look every time you watch Finding Nemo. Now, I want you to look Crush in the eye, and I want you to say, "I would eat you."
That's like that. Have you seen that YouTube video of someone who's at the Seas of Nemo at Epcot at Disney, and it's you can ask Crush questions. And they ask him, and they're like, "Oh, do you like turtle soup?"
Yep.
And he darts off screen. And he's like, "Hey, is that guy gone? That's not cool, man. It's not cool."
Yeah. Yeah. So just think about that.
Yeah, but again, sustaining my survival is more I would rather kill a sea turtle than get skin cancer.
Well, see what I'm saying. Okay, so I phrased the question poorly, right? So
Sure.
I said you either get skinny hands or you go home.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, ideally, if you can't, if you kept using your shirt. Also, you're
Mm-hmm.
disregarding the fact. What about your face
Yeah, honestly,
and
yes,
your
there would still be
feet
some,
and
right, but my point
hands
is, if I
and
can
ankles?
minimize my sun exposure, that's the important thing.
Alrighty. So I got a couple things to this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So ideally, if you used your shirt as a sail,
Yes,
then you're hoping to at least make good headway in the ocean or towards civilization, no matter what.
correct.
So
Yes,
I
yes.
mean, wouldn't that technically lower your chances of getting skin cancer? Because ideally, you are actively pursuing your goal, and say if you do have too much sun exposure, then
Mm-hmm.
all right, like you'll at least be in civilization where they can take care of it.
Right, right.
And then also on the flip note, if we're going with our
The
main
flip
source of
note.
reference, yeah, we're going with footnote, right? It's completely just
Oh,
changing direction. So, going back to like the
oh.
castaway analogy, right? Tom Hanks used his shirt as like a turban to block out the
Well,
sun. Because
correct.
also, if you do that, and depending on where you are in relation to it, you can have some more cover. So you're covering your face as well as covering a decent portion of your body. Because I mean,
Fair enough.
if you have a little
Right.
like a little I don't know what the
No,
term is. The
all I could think of was
canopy.
the invincible think, Mark, think. What will you have? That's all I could think of when you were doing that. For reference audience, he was pointing at his head. He was like, think, like both hands, like yeah, yeah.
My fingers were roughly
I don't know. There's
180 degrees flat,
oh
um, and it was right above my
my god, my
brow.
hair. I keep like pushing my headset back on my head, and it keeps pushing up my hair. And it looked really bad on camera for a second, and now it looks terrible as well. It's fine. It's fine.
It was pretty nice.
Where are you?
Oh.
Um, well, that's like MrBeast did a YouTube video recently where he was like 7 days as a castaway, and they very much like were lost at sea for like 7 days and like simulated that. I don't know why that's something you would want to simulate, but they did. Like if the thumbnail in the
He's
video is
gotta
like them on a raft, like out in
he's
the
gotta
middle of
make
the ocean.
he's gotta make his money somehow, I guess.
I mean, yeah, well, one of them, I mean, Mr. Beast is a wild, I don't know, topic in the sense of like the video topics are kind of wild, but also like they're super successful, and he's obviously a super successful businessman and
Mhm.
philanthropist. So like, there's a certain level of respect there, but also like the one before that was a $1 vacation versus a $250 or $250,000 vacation.
What did the one
It's like
dollar vacation
I
entail?
I don't know because I saw the thumbnail, I didn't watch it, but like
Like getting
it's
a
one of those things where
dollar, like getting a burger from the McDonald's dollar meal, or like what?
right,
I mean, dollar
but like in the
25. You
sense
can't even
of
get it.
where's the 250 grand coming from? Like that's
You just don't ask questions you don't want the answer to,
that's true.
or at least
Honestly,
maybe you want the answer to it,
wait, I feel like the a curious part of me wants the answer. You know what I mean?
but not the moral part.
Because like obvious, I feel like the obvious answer is like okay, one, obviously his channels make a crap ton of money. Two,
Yes,
sponsorships and so forth. Like three, he has like 5 YouTube channels that are all like at multiple million subscribers that are constantly making content. Like
it's fair. Yeah,
so, like I feel like they're the math definitely adds up there, but it's like I'm also curious. I'd love to see the return on investment.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
obviously has to be. It has to be. What's the word I'm looking
It
for?
has. I mean, obviously, it has to be
Eh,
sustainable, or else he wouldn't be doing it.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. I mean, there's obviously he's been in it for how long? Also,
Yeah.
that leads me to it. Like, I'm like really thinking about it. Like, when
Hmm.
I guess this is just like a phenomena of like
When? That's it. That's the question. When?
when,
When?
but the thought is like, I mean, kind of piggybacking off of
Hmm.
last week's conversation a little bit with Hugh, um, of like the YouTube that we grew up with, and like we viewed them, and we saw some of them like rise and
Mm.
grow. I don't ever remember like the rise of Mr. Beast. Like I felt
I
like
mean,
it was just like one day he like was like, "Oh,
yeah.
Mr. Beast. Oh, he's in Fortnite. Oh, he has his own chocolate bar. Oh, he has a drink. Oh,
Well,
I'm
I
like,
think if you go back on there, like MrBeast has been on YouTube for like I want to say like 10 or 11 years. It's just he blew up like very suddenly, like and then just capitalized on it and kept capitalizing on it.
yeah.
Like
Well, I
he's
mean,
been
I know
making
that's
YouTube videos since like I want to again I don't know the exact year so forth but I want to say since like 2010 and like again just got popular, blew up and like ran with it, which is what
yeah, like
anybody would do. Like
2012.
yeah, and like his original videos were like oh saying insert word here 1,000 times or like repeating this phrase like a million times like saying the word no, and he would do like live streams of it for like super long like live streams of it till he was done, and it got popular enough to where it gained traction, and then he kind of like shifted into the oh would you do like this or this for an amount of money or fitting all everything you want to buy inside a circle, like these more like super large scale challenge videos like
Yeah, his viral frame was a video of him counting to 100,000
yeah
made waves. Yeah,
yes
100,000 made waves across YouTube after taking 40 hours to complete.
right. So I mean like wild, obviously dedicated and passion. Well, I'll never fault the guy. Like that is any big YouTuber, and I guess I shouldn't say any, majority of big, like, large YouTubers and so forth, like, I'll never fault them on the content they make because they found their niche, they found, like, what production, like, line works for them, and it makes sense. Like, they're obviously super popular for a reason, like, so.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not
no.
really sure what this point was getting at, but more just like, it's cool. YouTube stuff is cool and interesting and
True.
wild.
Did you know
Yeah,
that he
audience.
is Did you know that he's 6'2"?
God, I wish I was 6'2".
And he was
I
born in
I say that, but I'm 6 foot,
1998.
so like,
Yeah,
oh,
shut up. I'm 5'7" and 3/4.
oh, 5'7 3/4". Oh,
I really was tempted. I was
oh.
like, this is your moment. You can say that I'm 5'8", but
I was gonna say you could lie. People, I might not even be 6 foot.
well, now you just outed yourself.
I mean, I am. I'm pretty sure, but like,
No, I don't know. I
yeah,
think you're a strong
yeah.
5'11".
Mm.
I think you're a strong 5'11 and 3/4.
Oh yeah, yeah. You just want me to match your 3/4 energy, don't you?
Shut up. I'm self-conscious.
At this point, audience, I want to let you know that if you are a new listener to That's the Flavor, you can go ahead and find That's the Flavor anywhere on any social media platform. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts if you want to go ahead and give us a listen. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter if you want to stay up to date. You can find us on YouTube if you want to see our beautiful faces talk to you guys as we talk like the podcast stuff. Also, if you want to see some like clips from the podcast, we do daily YouTube shorts and TikToks, like kind of recapping like funny moments and so forth. Enough to where you could have a good laugh, but also like you're still like I don't know, you're not hearing the full thing. If you want to go hear more, like go check out the thing kind of scenario. So yeah, go check out That's the Flavor anywhere and everywhere if you have not already. And yeah, like I said like I said at the beginning, thank you guys for the support. Just want to make that quick little blurb about the flavor. And also about the flavor, I want to talk about so because we didn't do it last week, I want to talk about some of the like answers to the questions we've asked over the past few episodes. So I
Yeah.
want to like the answers from we'll talk about the answers from episode 30 and 31. So episode 30, microdosing milk, which was 2 weeks ago at this point. The question we ended. God, that title is so good. I have the biggest amount of joy in my life is titling That's the Flavor episodes. And I think that since we have brought the show back at episode 25, every title has been a banger. Like it's been amazing,
I
and I
really
love
like the
them.
titles. They're very fun.
Um, and so episode 30, microdosing milk. The question we asked you all was, what do you think flavor dust actually is besides a drug? Because it's definitely not a drug. And like I don't know, I told them I was like I don't know, maybe it's a seasoning. You know what I mean?
I really forgot about flavor dust. Wow.
Yeah,
Two
flavor dust,
weeks
an
flies
epidemic in
by.
America. And we had two responses to that question. The one was, when you try to get the last bit of crumbs from the chip bag by tipping the bag in your mouth, but the dust just gets in your by tipping the bag, but the dust just gets in your eyes. Flavor dust.
That's actually really spot on for us, based off of Christian's history.
Of getting things in my eye, yes.
Oh, the thing is, though, let this be a note: the Christian willingly puts things in his eyes.
Oh, well, I mean, not recently. It's been like it's been a little bit.
It's a history.
Yeah, if you want to hear more about that, go listen to episode 24. What is it? Pretzel salt and crayons, I want to say.
Yeah, something like that.
That was the last episode before That's the Flavor went off the air originally. So,
oh
yeah, R.I.P. But there's that response, and there's another one that was the good shit at Red Robin, which I respect because as someone who appreciates the Red Robin establishment, yes,
the good shit.
The good shit at Red Robin is exactly word for word what it says.
That's amazing. So you can actually, so wow. I mean, I'm honored that the flavor dust is actually something that, I mean, it seems like it's worth it. It's worth the struggle.
Yeah, honestly.
Good shit from Red Robin.
Red Robin. I like to imagine there's somebody out there who like has gone to Red Robin's and like they're a kleptomaniac, but only for the Red Robin seasoning containers.
Oh,
so, like they just have like a shelf of them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They probably steal one like every time they go in.
Yeah, they have them organized by amount of seasoning in container from when they stole
and
it.
Also that, and also they're all like dated in terms of like when they expire.
It's like a serial killer level stuff, but just for Red Robin seasoning containers.
Yeah, like it's not doing any harm to society.
No.
Just to Red Robin's.
Yeah, just to Red Robin.
Fiscal, having to replace everything.
Probably not even that. It's probably not even that much of a fiscal deficit though either.
I mean, I don't
like
see. I mean, everything's gone up in price, but I can't imagine.
Right, but
I can't imagine seasoning.
I can't imagine what is
much.
Arguably just a seasoned salt is gone that high up in price.
Actually, yeah, I don't even know what it is exactly.
Because also, this is the thing. As someone who goes to Red Robin as often as I do, the Red Robin seasoning they sell in the store and the one they give you at the restaurant are two different things.
Oh, there is,
and I stand by that statement. I have done like side by side lick tests of both, and they are different.
Oh, so, what's it? Well, I mean, it's like kind of the similar thing. Like I feel like Panera is a good example of it. Like they release the soups, but those soups do not taste like the ones that you would get in the store.
Right.
But I mean, if they did that, then the company is just gonna. I think they would lose money in the grand scheme of things.
My issue with the Red Robin thing is it's a seasoning blend. So if it has the exact same ingredients, why does it taste different? That is my thing.
Now, see, the thing that I think might be tricking you is that I do believe that it is the same seasoning on the table, but they season it back in the kitchen before they hand it out to you. That's true. I think that's probably where your different taste comes from, and then that taste is the same.
Right, but I'm saying even right out of the container. Like if I take one of those big on the table containers, put some in my hand, and I lick it, and I take the one that's at the store, the smaller container, right, and I buy that, I open it up, put some on my hand, and I lick it. They taste different.
So
like
are you putting it on?
Are you
putting it on the same hand?
Well, no, I'm not.
That's a whole bunch of different. You're having a whole bunch of cross contamination. All I'm saying is you need to have a clean plate. You need to have a clean plate, and you need to lick the plate with the seasoning. That will give you the exact taste.
Restaurant seasoning. I pour it into this hand.
Okay.
Also, audience, you should come check out the video of this if you want to see this demonstration. I pour this restaurant seasoning into this hand.
Yes.
Lick test. I did not like that. I didn't like the slurp noise. It tastes how it tastes.
Didn't like that at all either. Yeah.
Then I take the store seasoning and I pour it into this hand.
See, it's already. Yep, go.
What do you mean it's already?
Just continue.
And it's and I lick it. They taste different.
Well, yeah, because you're licking two different hands.
I knew you had something cooked up.
Did science not teach you anything? Did science class not teach you anything?
You yelled at me for using the same hand.
Oh yeah.
So what am I supposed to do?
Because I know you didn't wash your hands after in between testing.
Yes, because we're sitting.
Exactly. I don't care if you're sitting there. Every Red Robin has a bathroom.
You know what? Next week we're gonna do a taste test. That's all I'm saying. Next week I'm gonna do a live taste test. It'll be controlled variable scenario.
That's exactly it. You just have to control your variables. I mean, I think all of your science teachers would be very disappointed in you.
I mean, there's a reason I'm a theater major, so.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know.
Nah, I still think the best way though is you have to put it on a plate. Like, I mean, the little appetizer plates that they give you, that's perfect right there, because they usually give you two. Because I mean, you don't go to Red Robin by yourself. I mean, people do. Good for you, man. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, but
then we had the question from episode 31, Humoring Conversations with Hugh Moran. And the question that we asked you guys then was, how would you survive in Hugh's Waterworld scenario? Because again, the question there being there is, we asked Hugh, what would he replace all the grass in the world with? He said water, which, you know, threw everyone for a loop. And highly respect it. And then the one response we have on that question so far, because again, the week's not over yet, but if all the world's grass turned to water, I would move to a desert. Because there's no grass in the desert. I mean, yes, there are patches of grass and foliage, but like that's something we didn't think about either. Like there's still a pretty good chunk of landmass there.
Yeah, well, because I mean, yeah, we did the calculations. I still think it still was only about like 78%. And I mean, we don't have a lot of deserts on our Earth.
Right, but I mean, they could probably be factored into like oases. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, because I mean, then also, are we going
don't get me wrong. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was going to say, don't get me wrong. A lot of the world is still dead. But,
no shit.
But I think you end up having, like, we can take things like the Sahara, and like it can probably be like retrofitted and like terraformed, like hydroplaned into a living, functioning like society, right?
I mean, okay, because then if we're going to like the exact wording of it all of the grass in the world, does that mean? Which is
what the original question is.
I mean, yeah, that is true, yes. And that's a big part that I forgot. I also forgot that my answer was trampolines. Yes. I'm sorry, Hugh. I led you astray. But anyway, Antarctica and Alaska. I mean, Alaska does have grassy patches, but I mean, glaciers and stuff like that, I guess, would be safe. Or no?
I mean, yeah, because they're not grass. They're just chunks of ice. So
exactly.
So like instead of killing the Titanic, a glacier could instead create life. It could foster life. Instead of ending life, the glacier could save life.
The glacier could be the Titanic.
That is true. You could hollow out a glacier into an ice boat.
Actually, this is all I'm thinking. You know how people do ice sculptures? Yeah. Would it be bad to do an ice sculpture of the Titanic? Like, is that not respecting it?
You gotta imagine there's some ice sculptor out there who's like, would this be in bad taste? Would this? Right.
But like, it's one of those things you don't even like necessarily think about right away. But if you really like, if you sit down and you're like, you know, it's kind of fucked up. Like, this is what destroyed it. And we just turned it into what it destroyed. I like to
imagine there's some art student out there who's like asking his professor, like, "Hey, can I do this for my project?" The professor's just like, "What the? Oh." Like he's like, "Hey, Mister like Doctor so and so," because you know the art history major or like art majors are probably like doctors or something. Maybe I don't know. There's probably doctorates for art out there.
Oh, there is.
And he's like, "Hey, can I?" So I was thinking for my final for the year, can I maybe make an ice sculpture of like the Titanic? And the professor kind of takes off his glasses, looks down at his desk. He was grading a paper at the time. Sighs, like the biggest sigh you've ever heard, and just like looks at his student and goes, "What the fuck?" fails him on the spot. Like, get out of here. Like,
Oh, see, but it's also one of those things simultaneously. It's like, yeah, it's fucked up, but I feel like it would also, like, the art world specifically, if we're going like the stereotypical route, would be like, wow, the power. You know, this evokes emotion because to create something from what to create the very thing out of the thing that destroyed it is somewhat cathartic.
You know what I want? To then take that ice sculpture of the Titanic, set it on its maiden voyage, and have it hit a glacier. Insane.
Oh no, I really thought you were gonna say I just want to throw it like in front of a boat, like a new boat, and so it just.
It's the same scenario as like Steve Irwin in the Stingrays, where like, oh, every time you see a Stingray, you want to like get revenge for Steve Irwin. I want to get revenge for the Titanic, so I throw ice at the ground. I shatter it. I don't use ice in my drinks.
That's the real reason why we use ice in our drinks, though, is so we can chew it up.
Yeah. No, that hurts my teeth.
Wait, this could be a new conspiracy theory.
Oh God.
Maybe the sinking of the Titanic was the start of global warming because we as a society said, fuck ice. It killed a whole bunch of us.
We live in a society.
We live in a society in which we must heat. We must get rid of the ice. We shall only make it under our own control. Thus, the refrigerator and freezer were born.
Hear me out. You wanna go that far? Did the creation of fire cause global warming?
No.
Oh, okay. No.
I mean, technically fire is a natural resource because it was started by... nobody can trace back that far, but I mean, look at like a lightning strike hitting the top of a tree and that ignites it.
Right.
We just learned to harness it. But I mean, is it technically a natural resource?
So is the Earth responsible for global warming? I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
Fires aren't the only reason / number one reason why there's global warming.
No, that's not true, man. Fires happen. It gets really warm. Global warming.
Fire and wildfires are a hot topic right now.
That's true.
You know? We already know you hate Australia. You can't hate Canada, too.
No. Of course, audience, we're joking. Wildfire is a serious issue. Canada, our hearts go out there. Honestly, Hawaii, heart goes out.
Yeah, Hawaii too. Yeah. Yes, heart goes out there.
But
Christian does in fact hate Australia.
Yeah, Australia, you guys.
If they had a wildfire problem, he wouldn't say anything.
Which they did recently, I'm pretty sure. But
yeah, like I said, he's not going to say anything.
Stop! No, Australia, you guys are okay.
I love you, Australia.
Someone on there was on one of our YouTube shorts, or like the episode where we talked about that, they were like, I live in Australia and even I don't like it. And I was like, I'm not alone. Like, which again, I say this as someone who has never been to Australia. This is a bit, this is a joke, but yeah, it was very funny. Like, I live in Australia and even I don't like being here. And I was like, oh, that's saying something. That's not great.
Dang, yeah, that's intense. But also, I'm just more amazed at the fact that there's somebody listening to our podcast in Australia. So, hey, taste bud. Woo.
Oi, taste bud.
Oi.
Oi.
From an Aussie to Aussie. Oi. I think I've done it. I've broke Christian. Honestly, we need to start making a counter of how many times we've broken each other.
Trust me, there'll probably be an end of the year compilation of the times we break each other.
So it's just, and then you know what songs playing in the back?
What? What's that
SNL sketch that Adam Sandler and Andy Samberg did? It's like, and that's when we break. Like, it's just a full circle moment.
Yeah, well, we'll take the copyright hit for that one. I'll use that as background music.
No, I was gonna say, as long as we copyright it, it's fine.
Well, that's not how that works.
Yes, it is.
I don't think we can copyright.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Oh yes, of course. So yes, taste buds. As I was thinking, what were we talking about? Oh yes,
Was
the
it
the
the
dynamic
Titanic?
stock market changes on the Eastern Shores. I don't know. I was trying to come up with something off the tip.
The
It
stock
didn't.
markets on the Eastern Shore.
I don't know. I don't know.
I guess stocks are there. For some reason, I wanted to say there's no stocks there, but stocks are everywhere.
I mean, stocks are yeah. It's kind of like
Stocks are everywhere and anywhere.
It's kind of like that newfangled internet. It's everywhere.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Back in my day,
Back in
I went out. Back in my day, I didn't have no internet. Actually, that's a lie. I've had the internet since
I was
I'm
gonna say
born.
we are. It's kind of like Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2, where he's like trying to harness the power of the sun. He fails, right, and doesn't get to harness the power of the sun. We are trying to we harness the power of the internet and succeeded. You know, the power of the internet in the palm of our hand,
What does
which
one do?
arguably is true because of cell phones.
I mean,
You know?
but that means everybody does.
Well, yeah,
But I mean,
yes.
also at the same time, all it does take is one EMP,
Well-
and like the hit, like the main like systems, like
Well, right. But yes,
or
also
massive blackout.
that does mean everyone has access to it. And yes, in my vision, there everyone is Doctor Octopus. So we all have mechanical arms. Yes, I did. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you could say. I mean, yes, one EMP could knock out all of our systems, but like, I feel like the reason that doesn't happen is because like the. Okay, let's say you, and again, I have no idea how any of that actual military strategy could work, right? But in my hypothetical mind,
I mean, EMPs aren't even necessarily military grade anymore.
but I mean, well, they aren't. But I'm saying in the sense of like,
like
one that
massive
would,
ones are.
well, right, but that's just ones that would cause a major blackout and actually wipe out a system. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like the reason they like aren't used is because like, hey, then you don't. Then you get like if you were to come in and like invade that space, then you got to like rebuild all that infrastructure, and that's just really difficult.
Yeah.
Because it's
mean,
not like you just removed a puzzle piece. It's you burned those puzzle pieces away, and now you have to build new puzzle pieces to fill that gap you created.
Yeah. No, it
At
is
least
a lot.
that's how I look at it.
Well, see, I think where my
I
head's
have no
going
idea,
at.
but
I mean, I have no idea either.
Yeah.
My head's also going at is because there was like a show that like talked about that, in which like
Oh.
the EMP decimated like all technology. And,
Oh, yeah, it was
like,
Revolution.
yeah, that's it.
yeah, Revolution ran for 2 seasons on NBC. Great show.
Yeah, so like I
Yeah.
mean, there's that, but I think that's also goes to like the whole irony.
Mhm.
I feel like if you're watching on your
Oh.
electronic device
Yes.
about
Or
the
listening to
world
us.
not having
Mm-hmm.
Wi-Fi.
Which that show Revolution was pretty good. I'm really sad it only got 2 seasons.
I think
Like-
the writing got a little tacky though at the end, didn't it?
I mean, yeah, but then I don't know. I feel like that's the issue with like any network show, especially the ones that only last for like 1 or 2 seasons. Where like I wish we had the ability to like support all of them, and they just existed and got to play out their like entire story arc. Like in the sense of like, yeah, the writing was probably really tacky there towards the end because they had to do some level of setup or wrap up because they knew they weren't getting renewed. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that is and that also
or they were doing a
justice
setup
for the
and stuff.
writers
Oh yeah, or in the actors.
and actors. Fair wages, man. Fair
Correct.
wages.
Yeah. We here at That's the Flavor support the actors and writers strike. Yeah. Even though we are not members of SAG-AFTRA or
Here are the
writers.
logos. No.
Support here. No. But yeah. Yeah. Forget what I was going to say, honestly. Train of thought, Titanic, I feel like I might have been like mind wiped or something. I don't know. It feels really weird. Honestly, I'm not
So
entirely sure.
now we're in Men in Black.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I mean, you know, Men in Black, little Jedi mind trick. I don't know. It's all the same, right?
Oh yeah, I did do the Jedi mind trick. Wow.
Wait, you did a Jedi mind
Jet-
trick?
Yeah, it did. These are not the
I don't
droids you're
remember
looking for.
that. Whoa, hey, wait, where am I?
Yep, that's what I thought.
Are we recording That's the Flavor right now? Is that what's going on?
Nope.
No.
Me and you are actually in a Red Robin, and we're doing a
Oh,
taste test.
this looks really different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've been in a coma, buddy.
Why am I waking up from my coma in a Red Robin doing a taste test?
Because this was your last wish.
So you fulfilled it. You brought me.
But you
brought
woke
me
up.
in a comatose state into this Red Robin
But you woke up, so it's fine.
to fulfill my last wish.
I also picture you're also in like an iron lung, like one of the old ones. Like,
It's not even what they were used. They weren't used for comas.
well, they are in my head.
So you had to wheel me into this Red Robin, walk
Yeah.
up to the waitress and or the hostess in a straight face and go, "Table for two, please."
Yeah, I did.
How did they
You're
fit
acting
me?
like you're acting like this didn't happen, Christian. It's right now.
Oh,
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do we think I can gaslight Christian? Which I know the answer is 0.
you've broken me twice this episode. Oh man, that's the flavor, everybody. Your weekly podcast where it's something. It's something for sure.
We think of things and we say it. This really is a podcast of we don't think before we speak. We just speak and then...
Even on that fact of our podcast recording setup added a ability for us to add an ability for us to script a podcast episode, and we were like, no, we don't need it.
Yeah, no?
Yeah. Honestly, that's the flavor. It's whatever you want it to be and more. It's whatever you want it to be and more. Also, you know what I don't like?
A lot of things.
Well,
Racism,
sure. I mean, well, yes,
the
yes,
economy,
of course.
bigotry.
Yes.
When you found out the patriarchy wasn't about horses.
Oh, dude, I was so mad about that. So
Yeah.
mad. No, the one thing that I'm very mad about and that I don't like is AI art.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, yeah. Do explain, yeah.
Yeah, so legitimately, so AI art, mind you, things like Midjourney. And there's another big one like AI that I can't think of out there that generates like AI artwork, and there's honestly a lot of them in general, but I don't like them because they just suck. I don't know. AI art is such a terrible thing in terms of it takes away from actual artists, actual creativity, actual time and work. Oh god, I just saw a really surprised face. What happened? Okay, all right. Oh, but it just.
Broke myself.
What'd you do? We didn't even do anything.
I farted. You're having this genuine conversation about how you don't like AI art, and then I just ripped one. It just.
I don't.
Yeah, but AI art is bad.
I don't know what this show is anymore.
Yeah, AI art is bad. I do have to agree with you there. No.
But yeah, but I don't know. It just I don't know. I feel like AI in general, it's just not great.
They're gonna take over the world.
God.
Am I wrong? Westworld, man.
No, you're not wrong. I'm just still stuck on the previous. God.
There's been a total of 3, I think maybe 3.5 breaks, and I've caused all of them.
God,
yeah.
man. God, what a
Oh man.
what a show. This is a wild episode.
Truly.
This has been a wild episode. Um, yeah, AI art sucks. AI sucks. And I feel like I just
Take
want to make
over
the
the
point
world.
because of how prevalent it is right now. I want to make the point that That's the Flavor will never knowingly use like AI services or art or so forth. Like maybe accidentally it'll happen just because you never know. Because honestly, as AI improves, it's gonna get harder and harder to tell what is and isn't like real versus fake, and like what is real versus AI art. So like That's the Flavor will never knowingly use that. Why? Because I would rather work with actual like artists and so forth.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
yeah, just gonna spitball that out there. You know how it is.
Yeah, no, I do agree there.
Yeah,
I mean, some of them are pretty sick looking though. But I mean, also to some extent, isn't it too? It draws from what is found on the internet of what people have created. And I'm not saying like I still agree with you. I do think that AI is bad because like it is taking away from a lot of people who are attempting to do it or are fortunate enough to do it as a living. But just like I guess a slight point, doesn't it draw from that? Because that's the whole point of AI. Is it like
I feel like it
pulls
just
from all
draws.
of it?
Yeah, I mean, it just draws from like a pretty like wide base of stuff. Like whether it's words or just images and so forth. Like it just draws from all of it. Like in this, so like yes, it does. But I mean, that doesn't necessarily, like you said, it doesn't clear it though either. Because then it's just like taking Jimmy Johnson's Mona Lisa and Van Gogh's Starry Night and like mushing them together, and you get Starry Lisa or
Starry Lisa.
so you get Starry Lisa or Mona Night. And it's
Wow,
like, yeah,
that
sure,
sounds like
is,
a movie
that is like a
or a stripper
original.
name
Mona Night is definitely a stripper name.
or a hooker name.
I mean, Starry
Or-
Lisa is
I'm
too.
sorry, I don't want to. I don't want. Yeah, I don't want to say hooker. A woman of the night.
I was gonna say Starry Lisa is also
Especially
Yeah.
Mona. Night.
okay. All right, I'm gonna leave. I'm leaving. That's the Flavor to Ozzy. I
All
entrust.
right, taste buds. You know, honestly, this might be the end of the episode. Oh,
Yeah, no, on that note, actually, looking at the time here, it is time to bring this week's episode of That's the Flavor to a close.
natural end.
Yeah, not very natural. 100%. Not.
Actually, I do need to say this really fast.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of natural, I don't know if anybody here plays Cult of the Lamb or has played Cult of the Lamb, right? Well, I finally picked it back up. I bought it and I hadn't played it in a couple of like months, and somebody told me that whenever I played it that I should name all of my followers from like important people in my life, right?
Yes.
So naturally, Christian was my first follower,
Mm.
and he died of natural causes.
Oh.
I even gave him a necklace so he'd live longer. He died at the ripe age of 49.
Oh, God. Is this foreshadowing?
I hope not.
Should I make a doctor's appointment?
I mean, you also were an orange whale.
Ah, cool. Nice. I like that.
So,
Nice,
yeah.
nice.
But
What
on
a-
that little
yeah.
sidebar and
Yeah,
natural
what a way to
endings.
end. Yeah.
Yeah, we've definitely been That's the Flavor.
Yes.
This has
Time to
been our episode.
Time to bring this episode of That's the Flavor to a close. Thank you all for listening, Taste Buds. We appreciate each and every one of you and the little bits of flavor you add to our recordings and our comments and so forth. We appreciate
You
each
are
and every
the
one
flavor dust.
of you. You are the flavor in me. Na 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 na.
Dust.
Yeah.
No, you were supposed to na dust. Instead of the yes, it was dust.
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 Na 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 na.
Dust.
You are the flavor in me.
There you go.
Gotcha. I see what you wanted to do now.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you guys for listening to That's the Flavor. If you guys want to go check us out on Spotify, answer the question in the poll for the week, check us out on YouTube if you want to see our beautiful faces, and really just check us out anywhere. Tell your friends, tell your family, be like, hey, come check out this really cool, fun podcast. It's a great time. I giggle a little bit every week.
Tell your coworkers, tell your dogs, tell your fish.
Yeah,
tell your
tell
food.
everybody. And until next week, audience, when we go ahead and enjoy your guys' company, Ozzy's company, my company, when we're there, when we gather again next week. Until then,
Around the campfire.
yes, the campfire
Or
of
Red
flavor.
Robin. Or
Our
around
first
Christian's Iron Lung.
our first meetup should be at a Red Robin, but that's future. That's future, no.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, until next week, audience. I have been Christian,
And I have been Ozzy.
and this has been That's the Flavor. We will catch y'all next week. Take care and goodbye.